Welcome. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And that was Marianne Williamson wrote those words, and it's time to shine. So this is Beautiful Rose, and I will put the link to this particular video on the YouTube where I found the self-confessed time traveler. She once again speaks about coming from the future in this one. And let me just move that away. Get myself set up. So I have a friend in Florida, Diana, who I've mentioned before, the lady that helped me get started on my painting journey. And she watched yesterday's episode and watched Rose's video. And we had been talking before that about in her community there's a lot of parents concerned with the education system and the schooling, and there's parents in her community that have pulled their children out and are like, we're going to build our own schools, and they're doing homeschooling. And then there's still children in the community that are going to public school, I think that's what you call it. And obviously the homeschool children play with the taxpayer funded educated children after school. And she got in touch with me and said it's just horrific. These children are coming home from school in absolute fight or flight, like traumatized. These young children, young as 6, from all the drills and there's going to be a shooter come and get you, and it's very, very scary. So I said, I think some of Rose's words will come in handy. And she sent me a text, which I'm going to read out. And it just goes to show that what I believe and think Spirit are asking me to give a message for, how it gets received is, that could be on 86, 87, 89, 10,000 different layers. And this is what I got. I love Rose. Comes as a timely message for me. I'm having some big feelings regarding my brother-in-law and his girlfriend's recent stance on not allowing our children to meet their new daughter, my children's cousin, until she's 4 months old. Meanwhile, allowing her young nieces to visit with her, taking her to the zoo and local bar. It should also be mentioned that said girlfriend works as a nurse in a hospital. The reason our children are excluded, supposedly, is because the pediatric nurse recommended they keep her away from children to avoid illness. But appears to be blatant discrimination of my children, or just a nasty, mean move given she has no qualms about her nieces being around and holding the baby. Gives me yuck feelings, and mumma-bear can't help but come out. Concept of neutrality is even more difficult at this point. So we worked together on a prayer, and I would like to share that prayer with you. So it comes from Rose's comments yesterday. It doesn't matter if a person hurts you. Surround them with love and only attack the negative energy behind them. If you have difficulty doing that, move into neutral. And so this is a prayer channeled for Diana, but it's given freely in love to everyone. It's like a photocopy, like when I used to take really fantastic notes in class, and I had, 10 or 12 people very, very, very nice to me. And I would just say, it's okay, here's a photocopy of my notes. You take them and you do what you want to do. I never held anything back, and that's what these prayers are. They're given with free love and free will, and it's kind of like a template. So you see how Diana and I have done this, and then you can either use this and just say, yeah, I'll take what they're having, or tweak it yourself. And over time, you'll be teaching people how to write prayers. Okay, so here's the prayer we wrote together. And like any piece of analysis, this could and may get refined, 10 different versions to take this from all these wordy words up to, a couple of sentences. So here's the prayer. Hi Rose, please activate all of my own wisdom and all of my own memories from all of my lives, my earthbound experiences, which included the blessing of my heart beating with the Polynesian vibration of being the 8 dimensions. I ask you that you please reactivate in me the emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, and eternal knowledge. I know this personal wisdom is encoded in every strand of my DNA, and I ask that you please bring that knowledge, activate my DNA, easily, effortlessly, and aligned with my pure heart and intent to allow my children to be unencumbered to fulfill their destiny. I ask for the memory of how to utilize my knowledge of going to neutral when I feel triggered by the obvious, blatant, state-endorsed and yucky medical discrimination being perpetrated on my children. For the times I am unable to see the negative and Weiteko infected evil behind the abuser, please, Rose, help me remember how I go easily and effortlessly into neutral. Kia ora. Amen. So be it. So that's the prayer of today. And I will put the link to another YouTube, that YouTube I just showed at the beginning, where Rose once more self-confesses she comes from the future and is here to help. And I will leave that prayer with you. One of the people in my family who've just most recently died, and I did a grief ceremony. They were a collector. And had antique shops and had sheds and sheds and sheds of their treasures, and it included a library with some really rare and unique special books and a section on Bibles. And when my mum was going to help with the realities of a sudden death and clean out his effects, I asked if I could have one of his Bibles. Unbeknownst to me, one of my other sisters also asked for the same thing. So his Bible, I'm not going to open it, my zipper thing won't work, but his Bible turned up yesterday, and I'm really thrilled to have that energy with all of his little markers and bits that were important to him and his writing. And just to finish, I shuffled the cards before, and I will ask Rose to connect in with New Zealand's collective consciousness energy and see how we're all doing today. What vibration are we vibing to? The Empress. Tanga. I've not got that right, have I? The celestial goddess. Motherhood, fertility, nature. Thank you, Rose. That's the perfect card to go with our prayer for today, which was for the mumma-bear energy. So yes, the Empress is perfect. And yes, this prayer may be for a beautiful mother who has beautiful children in Florida, but this prayer is also for every mother who wants exactly what that prayer says for them and their children. Kia ora, amen, and I'll see you tomorrow.